Did I go in the right one? I hope I'm in the right one, because I wasn't even paying attention, and lately it hasn't been opening into the right one. Let me see. I don't know if I'm in the right one. Not looking like I am. Okay, I don't think I am. Oh, maybe I am. Maybe I am. Let's see, after this commercial. Oh, it is. I'm in the right one. Okay, hey. So, if somebody wants to call in tonight, do you want to talk about grief? We're going to talk about probably, well, anything, but holidays are coming up, so that can be a trigger for grief. And a lot of people are feeling, hi Julianne, different emotions. And like it says, it can be anything that's a trigger. It could be a Christmas ornament, like, if you're decorating the tree, hi Tammy Flo, that is special to the person that you lost, or Christmas ornament that you made or bought in remembrance of them. It can be seeing their favorite cookie in the store. It could be hearing a certain song. It could be not being able to watch some of the things that you used to watch around the holidays, because you can't watch those without that loved one there. A lot of things happen like that with shows and things like that. And I know I've heard it in other people. They can't watch the same series anymore because they used to watch it with that person and they just can't. Or certain eras, or like may trigger them to about their loved one that they've lost. So there's a lot of things like that. So some things that you just can't even partake in. And maybe you used to send photo Christmas cards and you don't anymore since you've lost your loved one. That's something else too. Maybe sometimes it's something you used to look forward to, getting Christmas cards, and maybe you don't anymore. There's a lot of people that can't go on Facebook anymore, especially when they've had a big loss and they don't want to see other things. It's not that they're not happy for these other people, but they just don't want to see it. We're not accountable for the way we grieve. Things hit us differently. Doesn't make us good or bad people. But you're never accountable for the way you grieve. So never let somebody judge you for it, like they like to do on YouTube. So, the way their clothes smell that they left behind. Yes. Or, if it's perfume or cologne that they used to wear and you smell it, then you may be triggered into, it could be something good. It could be a good trigger, like I'm remembering them, or it could just set you off. And you never know what could set you off. And sometimes you don't know what set you off. Hi, Ruthia. The month of July is always a tough month for you? Right, because then you have, when your loved one died, then their birthday, and then if there were any other special things, yeah. And sometimes you just can smell something that reminds you of your loved one out of the blue, Sometimes people smell cigarette smoke if their loved one was a smoker, or they smell a cologne, or they smell a perfume, or they smell some kind of smell, or a song comes on that is like a really special song for them at some time. And your mom passed July 2nd. Hold on a minute. I can't, their heart is in the way, that heart thing, I can't see the year. And your dad passed away July 2nd, 22, and your dad passed 2 2 months later, is that what you're saying, Tammy Flo? I'm so sorry. Hi, GB. Yeah, so 2 months ago. Oh, I'm really sorry, Tammy Flo. Very sorry. Yeah. So what other kinds of things, like, a lot of times, yeah, like a lot of planning, Christmas stockings, things like that, right? Christmas can bring a lot of triggers. A lot of triggers. Her husband swears that sometimes he can smell his grandma's Estee Lauder perfume. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say stuff like that. You don't celebrate your birthday anymore. You buried both of my parents on my birthday. My mom on my 50th and my dad on my 57th birthday. Oh, sorry to hear that, farm life. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. And do you find that it's, hey, Lindy Reby, your dad's hat still has his smell. Your husband left notes in pockets and around the house for you. Oh, that's nice, Linda. They were high school sweethearts and married nearly 66 years. Yeah, I understand. My parents were like that, and my dad died 1 day shy of a year. It's like he went, because, like they say when they're soulmates like that, they usually die within the year. It's like my dad waited the entire, as long as he could, to be with us, and then passed. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brandy. But do you find that the holidays are worse? Like, what's your worst? And I can't say worst because the holidays are always a reminder, right, of some of the holiday songs, like I'll Be Home for Christmas, right? And hey, Captain Lee. It was a bad day. It was your anniversary. I hate Valentine's Day. Most of all, I stay off social media. I can't see what other women get from their husbands and boyfriends. And yeah, and that's... Your mom's parents passed and within 2 days of each other. Wow, Barb, yeah. That's like, what was it? Carrie, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher and her mother, right? That was really fast. It's okay. Linda Uribe, you don't have to pull up names. So, I don't know. So there's certain triggers, right? So are the holidays are probably the worst, right? Your brother committed us 2 years ago during the holidays. No one knew for 56 days until we sent a welfare check. He was in another state, retired Navy. My mom still has me call the detective. Oh, GV, I'm so sorry. Your mom died literally 2 months ago. So sorry, Peyton. If anybody wants to call in, let me know and I'll put in a link. Every couple of months to ensure he wasn't murdered, but he wasn't. Yeah, and I mean, social media, there are groups, like I have some groups. Sometimes I think without social media, we're more apt to feel we're alone. with the grief, because um, you know, especially for some, they feel more alone, with, I ran into a woman the other day and she said, she just felt so alone, like she was the only one, who she had her only child, and she lost him. And so she said, she wouldn't even, she thought back on her life and didn't know anybody that had lost their child. So social media can bring people together that have that. And yes, it's a club nobody wants to belong to, but there's a lot of like the greatest people that you'll meet in there, very compassionate, understanding. But then it can also be, when you open up social media and you see those like posts all the time, it can be like triggering. Maybe you're not thinking about it, and then someone posts something. And I know, as an empath, anytime I see things in my feed, whether it's like somebody talking about an illness or something, then it's like I take that on, and you're praying for them, and then you know I, so what I'm saying is, sometimes it can like bring you even, it's hard to explain, but it's like if you go to, like, let's say you have some kind of an illness, and maybe you're doing really well, but then you go into like this support group and everybody around you is doing really horrible and they're in pain all day and all of this stuff. It can be like a negative thing. So sometimes it can just surround you in like all this sorrow, but still there's like uplifting things that come out of it. I don't know, it's so complex. I'm not explaining it correctly. Let's see. Shot of Poison says, I don't ever chat, Carolyn. I know your pain. Sadly, I'm in the same group that no parent ever wants to be a part of. The pain never goes away. Some days are worse than others. Yeah, they are. They are. And I still think, I know Rosemary D'Alessandro lost her daughter in 1973. And she still tells me, a little bit of her can't even believe it happened. You know what I mean? I think that if we didn't have that, like, it's like this denial kind of thing within us, that we kind of think there are a way. It can make you feel worse, right, Linda? You understand what I'm saying. It gives you like a comfort that you're not alone, but on social media you see so many and you get bombarded with this stuff, and then it can make you, I don't know, just feel worse in a way, or like, because you're taking on all of that. Being able to share my mom's passing with Carolyn the Ram has made the difference in the world to me. So healing, what I needed it most. Thank you forever. Oh, you're welcome, Julianne. I was so happy to meet your mother. She's such a beautiful person. She was so sweet. Sometimes it seems like a horrible nightmare. Yeah, absolutely. So if anybody wants to call in, can you just tell me now and I will get you a number? But if you want to call in and just talk about what you're feeling, it's hi, Kato. But So how do you cope with all these things? I mean, is it okay? Like I said, there's people who told me, like, I don't want to go to Facebook anymore. I don't want to see other people's kids and grandkids. I don't want to see that. People who have had losses, and of course I understand. I understand because I know, like, sometimes when you're going through a loss and you're seeing some things, you don't want to see them, and it's not that you're like don't like those people or whatever. You just don't want to see it. You can be overwhelmed when sharing grief, but it's also a cleansing process. Yeah, Kathleen. And some people don't want to talk about it. Some people don't know how to talk about it. Um, I don't know. Like, I remember then you're also with the people that just want you to be normal again, right? Aren't you over that by now? What are you upset about, right? Again, Rosemary D'Alessandro told me that. It was like months later, if I'm correct. And the wife of the detective on her daughter's case said to her, like, aren't you over that by now? Aren't you over that by now? I lost my brother 4 years ago. He took his own life. My iPhone made a video of past pictures and recommended just today. It had pictures and videos of my brother, and it actually took my breath away. Oh, no, me. That's really nice. Sometimes you can't because you aren't safe yet, maybe legally or otherwise, so you have to be super careful, super careful. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kate. I do not go on social media, just here and RB Debs. She lost her husband and finances hard, thank goodness. I'm okay financially. Yeah, that's a blessing. I have respect beyond words for parents who can just even stay alive. Yeah, Julia. To hear that people just don't get it. Yeah, and it says, like, if you don't get it, be lucky you don't know it or something. There's a meme or something like that. My mom asked me 2 weeks later, aren't you over that yet? Oh my gosh, Ruth Ann. People think they're getting over grief. They are fooling themselves. Yeah, you're not going to get over. I'd like to take it, but it's okay. Do you want a link, Tammy? It's okay. I'm crying. It's okay. It's fine. You sent a link? My mom was not a nice person. I'm sorry to hear that, Ruth Ann. Oh, an email. Let me know, Tammy Flo, if you want to. I got you. Sent an email. Okay, I'll check it in a little bit. actually have to set up. Only they got me through is my other child. I'm gonna just open the Zoom. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'll get the link ready, okay? It'll be 5 years in December. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. So sorry. Alright, let me see here. I've got to do. Just don't worry. I'm going to be right back. I just have to open a new Zoom. Where the heck are my emails? Here we go. Tammy Flo, if let me see if I can get you this thing. Tammy. Yeah, just send me your name, Tammy Flo. I mean your email. Let me go back to the chat. Okay. Julianne says, I can't imagine what you feel, shot of poison. I just know others who I have lost, and I imagine I would want to die, except I would know that I can't because I have another child. I've been watching your auction show and make me laugh when I really did. Aw, thanks, shot of poison. You know, yeah, I think that's why some people that make people laugh and some people that, you know, laugh, they're very broken inside. And there's a comedian that lost his son that just went on to make people laugh, he said, but his heart was breaking. But he couldn't show that to these people that came because they wanted him to make them laugh. Hi, Christina Ferrara. How are you? Your dad has been gone 34 years and it still seems like yesterday. Yeah. I don't know. And then you have, you know, you think about everything becomes before and after, right? And you think about how can I go back or, yeah. Some comments see depression in community. Yes. Robin Williams, yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Hi. Hello? Hi.
Can you hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Oh, I think you have your YouTube on because there's an echo.
Okay, let me turn it off really quick.
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me all right?
There you go. No, I think you got it. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, that's good now. Can you hear?
oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good. How are you doing?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
I was doing a hell of a lot of crying the other day. I mean, I'm still dealing with my own grief, but I am thankful that I finally get to see my family after since 2015.
Oh, yeah?
But the thing is, I've got all these idiots,
Are you going back to Colorado? Wait, where are you going to see them?
Yeah, Colorado for 3 weeks.
Oh. When are you doing that, soon?
Yeah, for Christmas and New Year's. But I'm gonna join your blog if that's okay. Okay, I know you were talking about it a few nights ago, were you?
Yeah, what do you mean? Which one?
Your blog.
Yeah, but, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, definitely.
And I also want to send you another email that you might find interesting, if that's okay.
Sure. So who did you lose?
My mom, but she died actually Valentine's Day, 2014.
Oh, wow, sorry to hear that.
I know I did a video with her before, but whatever those idiots over there, doing stuff.
Well, I mean, those people that don't, they're heartless, they're cruel, and it's best to just deal with them. What I found is legally and with law enforcement when you have to, and just because it's not like they're going to ever come to a realization of what they're doing is wrong. They're not going to, and you're not going.
No, they don't.
So you just have to do everything you have to do, with the law and legally, and just that's all you can do. I really I've come to the realization there's like nothing. That's just what they live for. They're very, very crazy breed of people. Yeah. So, and unfortunately, and a lot of people are going through a lot of things, and it's
Yeah.
Well,
I came up with a whole lot of stuff to say, but then I started thinking maybe it's best not to.
Right. Yeah. Let's keep this on grief, and just do you find that your grief gets worse around the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it probably does for everybody because there's so many memories and so many triggers, and just especially even recipes. Maybe sometimes people can't make certain recipes anymore because there's just like so many triggers you don't think of until it just hits you. Yeah.
Well, I can go on and on, but
Yeah, it's just I don't know. What do you do? Do you find it that if you go outside and in a nature that if you're feeling bad, does that make you feel better? Or like to go, I don't know, for some reason going outside, I think because there's so many signs and sounds and smell, like
Mhm.
it's always like I'll want to take a walk or go on a bike ride
Mhm.
or just sit by the lake or whatever because I don't know. And that happened from like the moment I found out I wanted to be outside, not inside. I just got so many more signs and I don't know.
Uh, Before it started raining again, I'll say like a few days ago that it was just really nice outside and things were. I just kept thinking about things, and I have those days where I don't ever want to get back into the house. I just
Mm.
kept going.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah. It's like when I go down to the beach. That's just I don't know. It's such a spiritual place, and I only know that place after he died. But yeah, I'll just walk on that beach for so long, and yeah, never want to come back. Or really, I could stay down there for months. It's just there's something really spiritual about it. I don't know. It's just yeah, just being outside. This
I
is
think.
Carolyn on panel, Barb, from K Rocks.
Yeah.
Nature makes you feel better. Yeah, I don't like being cooped up in the
Yeah.
house, and that's why I
It
hate.
does.
Yeah, I don't like winter either. Exactly, and I didn't like winter before, and the ocean is healing for you, even if it's sad. Yeah, the ocean is just I don't know, amazing. Hi, Jane Grill. Oh yeah. Anybody
But
that wants to call
you
in,
know.
Tammy, if you're going to call in, you just have to send an email. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. The holidays are hard, and it's another trigger. I mean, if like is friends of the people that passed, or yeah, to see them, with their lives. Yeah, that's hard too. That's another reason. Like Facebook can be very very hard because we're bombarded with our friends and stuff like right when we get in, and I think that's why a lot of people can't do Facebook after that. It's just too much. And not that they're not happy for them, it's just it's too much. It's too overwhelming.
Mhm.
Yeah, the ocean, you love it. Yeah, shot of poison. Right.
But yeah.
Happy times are some of the hardest. Yes, Kate, right? Even weddings, because they're triggers of if the person died before their time, that you'll never see them married, or they should be there, or if they're in a family's wedding where they would have been someone in that wedding. Yeah, there's like so many triggers of all kinds. You can be really happy for the people getting married, and it can be just horrendous. Yeah, absolutely. Or new things you want to share with them. Yes, Kate, exactly. Or things that you were supposed to do with them, or maybe you had a trip plan that you were going to go with them. Maybe you can't go on that trip, and maybe you can, and you'll see it, for them with them. Like there's all, you're like I said, you're not accountable for the way you feel. If some person is able to go on the trip, that's fine. If some person can't go on the trip, it doesn't make anything wrong. That's the most important thing. It's what's right for you with when you're grieving.
Mhm.
We all expect to outlive our parents, the experience and we can't. Yeah, it's all too permanent for you, Linda. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I just want you to know that I'm there for you. You already know that already,
Yeah, I
and
appreciate it, and we're here for you.
thank
So,
you. And if you're, well, I'm sure you're gonna do it anyway, but you know you have my full permission. If for some reason your name comes up on one of my videos, please just download it
okay.
because there's another idiot that is pretty much brain dead at this point. So,
Okay. Will do. All right, hang in there.
yeah, thanks. Thanks for letting me up.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Have a good night, and stay alive if you want, and talk to us when you can.
I can stay if you want. It's just I don't have a lot
Oh,
to say
oh,
unless
that's
maybe you do.
that's okay. Yeah, I don't know if let me see if Tammy Flo emailed to call in. Let's see.
I'll stay if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know some people find it hard to talk about it, but sometimes you can find it. It helps. So if you want to call in, call in. Let me see something here. Tammy, I didn't get an email from you, so I don't know if you're looking to call in, but if you want to, call in. And let's see. Go over here. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, Bucky got some news about her cat, so that's why we were a little late. It wasn't the best news.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So, I mean, even their pets, are.
Mhm.
Yeah. You lost both of your parents, and although I love them dearly, it ripped my heart out. It's nothing compared to losing my little boy. I know, shot of poison. I think I remember you from other times. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I've lost both of my parents too. It's something, and I was
Mhm.
very close to them. But it's something like we expect. But we don't expect to outlive our children. You lost your mom, Christine, 11 years ago, and your dad, 10 years ago. You lost them both within a year to cancer. Grief has never gone away. It's with me every day. It hasn't been the same. Yeah, I hear you, Christine. I'm so sorry. You sent an email? Okay. Let me see. Did you just send it, Tammy? You sent it to .org, right? Not .com? Let's see. I'm refreshing my email to see if it's there. Still not there. I know I've had your email in here before. I was trying to find it for you because I can't. Just make sure that you sent it to the right email, because you might be. Oh, Tammy Flo, I know I just sent you something recently. Let's see. I still don't see it, Tammy. Not seeing that. Just check if you can copy the address exactly from Nightbot, then you'll know it's exactly the right way. For some reason, sometimes people get one letter off. And I know it wouldn't go to spam because you've emailed me before, but I just, for some reason, it's not pulling up your email. Sometimes, yes, in the grieving process, yes, Captain Lee Fan. I know that Roman helped my son immensely. Roman was, wow, I don't even know where my son would be with if he didn't have Roman. Yeah. Your hubby passed in 2019, 45 years together. It's very hard. Yep, Linda. I'll send it again. Okay, send it again. I'll check it. Let me check again. Don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. I don't see it yet, Tammy Flo. You're looking at your mom's funeral notice and it still doesn't seem real. I was never notified properly and never told about the memorial. That could be a forever thing. Oh, that's terrible. Kate says, my grandmother was a widow, has been through the Great Depression and other unthinkable things and raised children on her own and her sister's kids, but losing an adult child she never got over. Yep. Let's see. I don't see. I'm going to check Tammy Flo again. Still don't see it, Tammy. It's strange that it's not showing up. Okay, let's see. I don't know why that's not showing up. Tammy, if you could paste the email that you were sending to in the chat, then I can see if there's a problem with it. If it's weird that it's not coming through. Okay. I don't know. Wish it could. Let's see. I'll try and refresh it again. It's just not coming through, Tammy Flo. I don't understand. I wish I could. I know that I emailed you recently about the stuff on the auction, remember? I'm going to try to see if I can find it again because I found it somehow.
Somebody else coming up?
Yeah, Tammy Flo wants to come up, but her email's not coming through to me. I don't know. Let me see. Try it like that. Let's see. Get not in there that I can find you. Let's see. How about in sent? I know that I sent you something recently. Come on. Let's see. I don't know, Tammy, I can't find you. And oh, finally. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. Now I sent it. Okay, that was Tracy. Okay, let's go back to the chat now. Good night, Captain Lee Fan. Gotta sleep. Oh, she wants her fingernails painted tomorrow? That's nice. Have fun. Good night. Okay, so... I hope Anne's okay. Hi, Doors of Perception, how are you? There's a quote that says, grief is love with nowhere to go. Or you can't have grief if you didn't have great love. Let's see. Alright, we'll wait for Tammy to call in. Let's see. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that are grieving. And, I mean, they say there's 7 stages of grief, and some people take that as, like, you know, the holy grail, that's the way grief goes. That's not the way grief goes. And one day you could experience all of those in one day. One day you could just have nothing. We could be in one stage. That's just like a guideline of some things. But again, you're not accountable for your grief, and everyone's grief is different, depending on circumstances and everything else. So you're not accountable for your grief, and you don't follow. It's not like a textbook, like, oh good, I'm at this stage, and then it doesn't mean, because even if you're looking at that and saying I'm in this stage, doesn't mean you won't be back at another stage the next day. It's not like you go through it and then it's over. It's never over. Never. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They just think like, oh, I just have to go. It's not like AA or something, like you're going and oh yeah, I'm on this step, that step, that step, that step, and then I'm done. No, that's not the way it works.
No, it's no AA meeting.
No. But people do think that, like, you get over it. Like, you're going to go through these steps and stages, and then you're going to get over it. You're going to move into acceptance, and then you're all good. Yeah, no, it's not what happens. Her fingernails, Julianne? Yeah. Yeah, your mom was something else. When did she pass, Julianne? It's like... Hi, Amy. It never leaves, it evolves. Always remaining. I'll give you a second. Okay, no problem. No worries. January, that's what I thought, because it was right after I remember it was like around maybe late December or something that you came on with us when you were around, yeah. I mean, if there's anything that, like, helps you, or, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to help somebody else. Somebody could say, well, I listen to music and that helps me, and somebody else could say that is like a huge trigger for me and I can't do it. It's
She's always wanted me to do a radio. Long time ago, she used to listen to me when I was doing shows back then. She's always, she was really proud about that.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's what
Well, that's nice. So yeah, that then things like that happen. Like a lot of people like to do things for the person and do it in honor of them, and even if there's like, you know, whatever, if there was an event or like climbing a mountain that they wanted to do, they'll do it for them. And here's Tammy. See here. And yeah, that'd be. Hi, Cranky. How are you? Hi, Tammy. Hey, hi. Oh, you're connecting your audio. Hi. She's still connecting her audio. Oh, thanks, Cranky. Uh-oh. Come on, audio. Connect. You're back on the computer, finally updated. Okay, welcome back, Linda. Yeah. Yep. That sucks, Cranky. I wonder why Tammy's audio is taking so long to connect. Do you see the little thing? Oh, she can't hear me. I wonder why it's taking so long there. Shot of poison. It's not. It's crazy, Tammy. What's going on? Do you? Oh, let me type to her in the chat. Maybe she sees in the chat. Okay. Is there any buttons to connect your audio? No? Let me see here. Spotlight. Oh, can you hear us now? Can you hear us, Tammy? No? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, Linda. I'm not putting those commercials in there, and YouTube's going crazy. I don't know whether they're testing something out or whatever they're doing. After leaving the hospital, just skip them. When my dad passed, a woman was in the lobby playing a baby grand piano. As I walked by her, I couldn't understand why she was making beautiful music when my world crumbled. Yeah, Barb, right? Why the world goes on, right? Click on the little microphone icon. Join audio. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, Linda Uribe. They're doing some kind of test. It happened to the auction last night. It was like, I don't know, every 15 minutes or something, they were putting something in there. They did say that they were rolling out some new ad thing, and I didn't pay much attention to it, but I guess that's what it is. It's not so great. Especially not when you're doing a live, you know?
That they were rolling out some new.
Oh, there you
Can you hear
go.
me?
Yeah.
I didn't pay
But you
much
have to
attention
shut your YouTube. Oh, we lost Carol.
to what it
Oh,
is.
okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on
that's
one
okay. At
sec.
least we can hear you. Yeah. Every 10 minutes? Wow. That's crazy.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh my gosh. I've done Zoom a million times with doctor's appointments for my son and whatnot, but I don't know. I couldn't find it tonight.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Now your camera's off. I don't.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do that.
Oh, there's a little. Do you see a little camera say video? If you want, it's on the bottom next to the
I was about
microphone.
to say, I had to go to my phone to get the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll just leave it.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know. But I just truly wanted to thank you for doing this tonight because, it's just heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of loss is just heartbreaking. And my father was the youngest of 10.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, he and my mom had been married for nearly 66 years. And when she passed last July, he had dementia, but he also had cancer and a significant heart issue. And it was horrible for him. He would just randomly call and say, Tam, is your mom okay? Is your mom okay? Do you know where mommy is? And I would just have to tell them.
Oh.
We would have to
Yeah.
tell him repeatedly that she had passed. And it was so heartbreaking. Just
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So sorry. It's...
And he passed 2 months ago. And last week was his birthday. And when that popped up, I just was like, oh my gosh. It just brought everything back up again.
Right. Right.
So,
Did you feel like with him and having the dementia and missing her and not knowing, did you feel any kind of like consolation that they're together and
absolutely. Absolutely. She died July 2nd last year, and he died, he passed on July 29th of this year.
right,
So it was just a little bit over a year.
right.
Yeah. And, literally, we told him as he was passing, he had last rites 2 times because my sister, she was a nurse for 40 years and whatnot. And, the second time around, the priest, I had called his regular priest the second time around. And so he says, are you at the hospital or are you at his apartment? And I said, no, we're at the apartment. And he literally came right up. And right after he came, Daddy went into another feeling thing. And so he immediately went in.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the problem with my dad's passing was that he had a pacemaker.
Right.
And my sister, my oldest sister, don't know why she did it, but there was a broken wire in his pacemaker. And so she authorized them to do a surgery to replace his pacemaker.
Oh. Okay.
And every time he would start to pass, that pacemaker would kick in and keep him going. And it got to the point where at the very, very end, his skin was we also had hired a private nurse for him, a year ago.
Right.
And she was there with us. And I asked her, I said, he's so cold. why is he so cold? Because I've been with several of my aunts and uncles and my mom and everybody, and they usually get super, super hot.
Mm-hmm.
Their skin gets super hot to touch as they're passing. And his was just ice cold. But his heart wouldn't stop because of that damn pacemaker.
Wow. See, my dad had a pacemaker, and yeah, he passed, and it didn't restore his heart. And my grandfather too, but that's strange. So what happened? Did it just
Well, my
eventually?
brother, my brother has a ranch, and he said, "Look, I'll just run home and I'll get a what do you call it? A
Cattle prod?
cow, not a cattle prod. No, no, no.
Oh,
It was like a magnet of
oh,
some sort." He goes, "I'll just go get one of those." And the private nurse that we had forever, Edna, she was just wonderful. And she said, "No, no, no, we can't do that." And I said, "Well, is there any way hospice can turn it off?" And she said, "No, they got in trouble for that a few years ago."
see, but I never heard of that. Like that, it wouldn't let some.
It
Yeah.
literally went on and on and on. We were awake for 50 hours with him at the end
Wow.
because the pacemaker kept bringing him back. So it was just craziness. But my daddy and I, my brother is about 10 years younger than me, and so I was glued to my daddy's knee
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and my grandpa also, and you know I could get my dad to do things that other people couldn't because he and I were so close,
Right. Right.
and it just hurt so bad when he passed. I mean, I love my mom too, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I
but
understand.
but
Sorry
she had
for your loss.
well she had suffered my mom had suffered a lot. She had gone through cancer treatment, and then she ended up having a small stroke and had fluid on her brain. And
Oh.
we took her to the Barrows Institute down in Phoenix, which is one of the best neurological centers, and they thought that they would just try to do physical therapy to help her be able to walk again and whatever, and because of neuropathy from the cancer treatment.
Right. Yeah.
And then they discovered that she actually had fluid on the brain, and she was not a candidate for them to remove that fluid.
Oh.
So it kept building and slowly shutting down different bodily functions, and it was a hard, long road for her.
Yeah. That's hard. To see them suffer like that. Yeah.
No, and Daddy, it was a blessing for him that it was just about a year after Mommy passed that he followed.
Mm-hmm.
And but
Yeah.
last week, with his birthday and everything, it's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
you go through waves,
Definitely. Yeah.
and it was hard last week, but I'm feeling better today, and there's always a better outlook, and
Yeah.
they're both out of pain, and they're both together again,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's the saving grace that I have
Right.
is that
Right. Right.
you
Did
know
you
they
get
were
any
together.
signs from
So,
them? Have you had any signs from them?
oh my goodness. Okay, from the day my mom passed, I found a brand new shiny penny.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you. Everywhere I look now, like even in my garage, and there's no way in the world anyone dropped a shiny brand new penny in my garage. And there it is.
Wow.
I mean, it's just been really weird. It's been
Right.
really weird. And, you know, one of my other friends that passed, he passed about 4 or 5 years ago. He had stage 4 cancer throughout his entire body,
Oh. All right.
and all of a sudden after he passed, I started seeing white butterflies everywhere. It was just so weird.
Yeah, well, Joan's Joy, Joan D'Alessandro, her mother sees the white butterfly.
So does my best friend Tina.
Yeah,
Her husband passed. He was 43 when he passed from
yeah.
a massive heart attack. And she's 65 now.
Mm-hmm.
And never remarried, never dated, nothing like that after. And she sees white butterflies all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think people have certain things they see, and they associate. Like I see these. I saw these yellow swallowtail butterflies all the time after my parents passed, and sometimes they would encircle me. And Luke was really little, so I had told him, but he was only 3 or 4 years old, and I said, that reminds me of my mother, or your grandmother, and. He came running in the house one day from the garden at like 4 years old, and he goes, Mom, I just saw your mother in the garden. I saw your mother in the garden. And I said, What, Luke, what are you talking about? And he said, the yellow butterfly. I saw your mother in the garden. So
My gosh.
oh my gosh, I was just laughing because, did he really think is that what he understood? Like my mother was a butterfly or something? I don't know. But it was heartwarming and so funny at that time that I always remember that I just saw your mother in the garden.
My grandmother, my mother's family was very proper. My father's family was a big Italian family. My mother's family was very proper. And, she called her mom, mother.
Mm-hmm.
And we could only call her grandmother. And her father had passed when mom and her twin brother were 18, or teenagers, not even 18 yet.
Right.
And but my grandmother had written a poem about. Let me go into my living room. Give me a second.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I'll read it to you because
Okay.
it's very beautiful.
Okay.
And when my mom's oldest sister passed, we reread it at my grandmother's funeral, and then we read it also at my mom's oldest sister's funeral. And it's actually very beautiful.
Okay.
It is. I'll just read it to you, and I hope nobody is offended by religious connotations here, but it's called My Garden.
Okay.
One man went forth to a garden to talk to his father and pray. Another came to that garden to give a kiss and betray. Now I find love in my garden, new hope in the coming spring, and if I but stop and listen, the song of a bird on a wing. Yes, there's much more in a garden than rose, mignonette, and sweet pea, for when I walk there at dawning, there is sweet communion for me. It brings me peace and comfort. It brings contentment too. For gardens are glimpses of heaven, which is waiting for me and you.
Very nice. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and a lot of people like gardening is something that I shared with my son, and that's like something that I can still do, and feel like he's there with me, doing it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, and just the way that you take care of the lake like your mom did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Sweeping the lake. Yeah.
Exactly. And it all keeps us close. And like I said, I mean, I had a fabulous childhood and growing up, and all of my aunts and uncles, and my grandparents had a big old farmhouse, and they raised their 10 kids, and those 10 kids got married, and so then there was 20, and then everybody had kids, and then the next thing you know, there's 100.
Right. Yeah.
And and we would have just fabulous, Thanksgivings, and homemade ravioli and turkey and stuffing and everything, and family lasagna and everything. And it just breaks my heart that they're all gone now.
Right. And does it like with your parents both passing on, Do you notice that like they were the glue that held the family together, and like everybody is not doesn't do exactly what they used to, like in traditions and stuff?
Well, it just happened, so we haven't actually had. Well,
Oh, you haven't, right? Because your dad just, yeah,
he just passed,
right.
But I told my sister, my oldest sister, and I have a younger brother. I have my older sister that's 2 years older than me, and my younger brother is almost 10 years younger. And I had told them both. I said, I'm not coming back down here. My parents, I grew up, and my parents live 6.5 hours away from where I live now. And I told them, I said, I'm not coming back unless it's for a happy event, because I've spent the last 2 years going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, mommy was passing and daddy was, getting worse. And it just was, and losing my aunts and uncles and everything that, literally half of my aunts and uncles were like extra parents to me. And when each of them would pass, it was just like I lost my mom, or just like I lost my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because we were so close as a family.
Yep.
And it just, would break my heart.
Yeah.
And
but so many times it happens, though, like I hear people say all the time, like when their parents go, especially if they had a big family, you know what I mean? And there were big functions, and it's like, it's not that there's like a falling out or anything, but people are just like, oh yeah, well, I don't know, we're gonna stay here, we're gonna stay there, and it's kind of changes.
Well, all the girl cousins are trying to get together a trip. We want to go to Moab and the Arches and stuff.
Oh yeah.
In Utah. And so we're trying to plan a big trip with all the girls.
Do you live in Arizona?
No, my son lives in my oldest son lives in Arizona. I live in Washington.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, my father is the youngest of 10, and my grandfather, was like 14 or something. I don't know. But I have fostered relationships with my grandfather's family members and their children. And it's like we're all like a generation off. It's like my father was the youngest of 10.
Right.
His oldest brother was 20 years older. My grandfather was the same situation. So
a lot of their, I know what you mean, because I have a brother that's 22 years older, and a brother that's 18 years older, and a brother that's 13 years older, and a sister that's 6.5. Yeah, so I know. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
So some of these second cousins are like the same age as my father.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're trying to get it all together so that we can. And my oldest sister said, I don't know any of these people, Tammy. I said, well, I've spent the last, 15 years fostering friendships with them, and they would fly in and see me. I would fly in and see them. You can't just say you don't know these people.
Right. No, that's good that you're. Yeah, it's good that you're able to keep that going, because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people, when the parents pass away, a lot of the stuff that they kept going with the traditions and stuff is gone.
And I don't want that to happen.
No, I don't think anybody does it, and I don't think anybody really plans on it, but a lot of times it happens. I've heard it so many times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just don't want that to happen. And, our family was so close.
Yeah.
That I just don't want it to happen. I stay in contact with my cousins. I stay in contact with my second cousins. My grandfather, when he moved over here, my great grandma, she was so funny. She lied about his age and said that he was 18. He was only 14.
Oh, wow.
And Seneca, because back then, in the 1800s, early 1900s, you had to have someone sponsor you to come over.
Right.
So all the older boys came over, all the older cousins came over, and then they would save up their money and whatever, and and I have the thing from Ellis Island, that showed that my grandfather had
Oh, yeah, yeah,
$2 in
yeah.
his
I have it
pocket.
too. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, had $2 in his pocket,
Yeah.
but my family had set up dairy farms in California.
Oh,
And
really? Yeah. Wow.
yep. And then of course the Depression hit, and they couldn't support everybody.
Right.
So my grandfather at that point had a number of children, and my grandma and grandpa had a number of children, and so he went to work for during the Depression. He went to work for the Center of the League, and he was a stone master and a furniture builder, this, that, and whatever. And so he actually worked on the crews that built the rock walls all the way down the Oregon, California, Washington coast.
Oh, wow.
And in return, they got food and clothes for their children. He didn't get money. He got food and clothes for the children.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But so every time I go to the Oregon coast and I drive down, I just think, oh, Grandpa, you did such a beautiful job.
Right.
And in their backyard at their farmhouse, he had built this gorgeous fire chimney.
Oh, my grandfather did that too at the back of, yeah.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. I think that's from the old country.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He actually built the steps too going down here to the lake. There's still a couple of them that are there, but he put those in too. He did a lot of the stone work and everything. Yeah, just,
Yep.
Yep.
No, that was our families, man. They brought tricks of the trade from the old country.
Yeah, I know. Amazing.
And
I wish he would have done that here. Yeah, I would love that. I would have loved to have that here. They had a whole stone patio with this huge fireplace out there that you could cook on. Yeah. Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And we would, and then,
didn't even, when you were little, you didn't even appreciate it. What now I oh my gosh.
No, but we played on it all the time.
Yes, we played on it all the time too, and especially when it would snow and it had these big stone ledges on this fireplace thing, and we'd brush all the snow off. That's what I remember the most about,
Yeah, and ours, my grandpa's, it came down, and then it had a slope down, so we'd run up the little slope, and then after they both had passed and whatnot, Geldwin, which is, I'm sure that you've probably heard of Geldwin windows and doors, whatever.
Yes.
Well, the Wentz were friends of my family, and they purchased my grandparents' property because it's right off the lake, and there was a big pond out back behind, and that's a golf course now.
Oh.
and the apple tree that was in Grandma and Grandpa's yard that my cousin Randy had etched his initials in back when he was a little boy. It's still standing.
Wow.
And my dad, he was out there playing one day, and he goes, all of a sudden he kind of got confused, and he started looking around, and he goes, this is my backyard. And sure enough, then he saw the apple tree, and he saw Randy's initials in it, and he was just like, oh my goodness, I'm glad they saved that.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Yeah.
even though things change, things still remain the same.
Right.
Some things still,
Some things,
want the perpetuity.
Yeah, and some things,
Well,
that's another thing, yeah. But
well,
things
I'm
that
really-
go away.
I'm really glad that you are doing this show tonight because,
Yeah, no, people
It's
had
hard.
asked, and we'll see. And I used to do more of them, and I will do more of them as the holidays approach. And I think more people will call in and as they come, as they are more frequent. Yeah.
Yes,
They will.
and honestly, I'm not looking forward to the holidays this year.
Yeah, I know it's hard. The holidays are hard, and a lot of people don't talk like everything you see about the holidays is like, well, oh, you should be so happy. It's the holidays, and this is this, and and a lot of people don't understand what a lot of people are dealing with. And I think even in families, like you may have somebody that's like bottling up everything to be happy for everybody else, but that's got to come out somewhere. And then I think that's like, I don't know. It's like Charlie Brown. I always think about Charlie Brown when he says, Linus, people look forward to the holidays and everybody being really happy, but something, I'm paraphrasing, but people just get miserable or something like that. You know what I mean? And I think it is.
Well,
We put too many expectations on ourselves, to begin with, and then you have people coming together that, again, you don't know like what's going on in their life, and they're all getting together, and everybody has just way too many expectations based on what they're telling us our holidays should be like.
Exactly. And my parents' anniversary is actually December 29th. So that
I'm
always
so sorry, Snow.
That always makes it tough too. So
With 5 broken ribs. I know, we're
But
praying, Snow. I can't eat or drink. Yeah, we'll just keep talking to him. I talked to my mother the whole time until, it's...
I just honestly
so
would tell
sorry.
people, don't leave anything unsaid, and tell everybody, even just your friends, every day that you love them.
Mm-hmm.
When I hang up the phone from my best friend that lives 5 doors down from me, that we've been best friends for 33 years, and every time we hang up, we both say, I love you.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's very important.
Yep.
And that we just need to, always be mindful that it might be the last time you talk to somebody.
Yep.
And,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no fault of theirs, no fault of yours. It just
Right.
might be.
Yeah, no, you never know. I mean, our world is a crazy place now, too. And I mean, I'm like worried about my daughter. I was like, "Yeah, I think you should work from home tomorrow." And she's like, why? And I'm like, because they say that there might be some crazy stuff happening. And she's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then it's like, how much anxiety do you want to get? And so I'm like anxious about that. But yeah, you never know. You okay?
Yeah, it's swollen wrong.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
I took a drink of water. It went down the wrong
Yeah,
way.
I know. I've done that. Yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's okay.
No, and my oldest son, he lives in Arizona with his new wife, and they've built a fabulous life for themselves. But they fly up frequently, and I fly down there and whatnot.
Yeah.
But life is just too uncertain.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
don't know. And
Never. You never know. Never.
no.
Nope.
I mean, it can be taken out in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
And well, as you know, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
all we can do is keep the memories alive. And my father was a 40-year police officer. He died in his 80s, so he'd been retired for a number of years, and the police department came out in force for him for the funeral service at the church, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he was also in the military, back in the Korean War.
Mm-hmm.
So I made sure we couldn't find his discharge papers, so I had to research how to figure it out. Even though one of my nephews is a commander, sergeant major in the Army,
Mm-hmm.
and so he told me how to, go to the National Archives, and sure enough, they found his discharge paperwork, and so on the 16th we're finishing his engraving, and they're going to inset a military insignia.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it all works out.
Right. Right.
Sometimes you just have to follow it through and make sure. But I certainly wanted him to be honored that way. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, Snow. Well, there's always hope. Where there's life, there's hope. So keep the hope up.
exactly. And, I have like I said, I have a younger brother that's 10 years younger than me, and I adore him and his wife and children, and my sister is a couple years older than me, and her grandkids are one of them is in high school now, and the other one is he joined the Air Force Reserve or Air Force Air Guard is what he joined.
Oh, okay.
So so he's kind of following the military tradition, and like I said, her youngest son her oldest son is he's just incredible. He's a medical engineer, and he's come up with all types of inventions that have helped all of us.
Yeah.
And he's just incredibly brilliant. And her youngest son, he's he's about 38 now. And he's been in the military since he was 18.
Oh.
He decided he had a full ride scholarship to college. And he decided to join the military instead. And my father was so upset with him. He goes, "Get your college degree first, then join as a whatever."
Right.
Well, he did it the opposite way around, and so the highest he can ever get is Commander Sergeant Major,
right,
which is like the same as a general, but he's just a special guy. Super intelligent and very, very kind. And, he was in Iraq, Afghanistan and stuff, when that very first started. And,
right.
And he, a couple of his underlings back then, one died and another one lost a leg and this and that. And that kid was 19 years old, and he took on the responsibility of those men's families because he wasn't able to save them. And that's just the kind of guy that he was. And that's the way our family was raised, And, he's just it was so funny when my mom passed. My dad asked as they were taking my mom out, and he said, "Where are they taking her? Where are they taking her?" So my nephew Torrance, he'd flown in, and he just started stop. He's 6'4.5", almost 6'5", muscular, and he's like stomping down the hallway, following behind the gurney. And those guys turned around and just looked at him like, "Holy shit, what's the matter? What's the matter?" My grandpa wants to know exactly where you're taking her and exactly what's going to happen. So if you can just tell me so I can go back and report to him.
Right.
It was funny, but I mean, I called the head of the funeral place the next day and I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My nephew scared your workers." And he goes, No, they said he was fairly intimidating. I said, "Oh yeah, but he was dead set on making sure that Grandpa had all the information that he needed."
Right, yep. So yeah, it's just grief's a hard thing. I'm sorry, Snow, about your dad. Praying for him, and you say my mom lost her first husband and her eldest son. She asked a minister why she found it easier to get over her husband than her son. The minister said, "You can replace a husband, not a child." Yeah.
Well, that's very prophetic, actually. It absolutely is. Well, Carolyn, I'm going to let you go.
All right. Thanks for
I
calling
want
in.
to thank you.
Bye.
I want to thank you for letting me at least, say
Yeah.
my piece. And
Yeah.
I hope I didn't bore anybody, but
No.
No. Okay.
well, thank you. And
All right.
I truly do appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I
I
appreciate you too.
just
Thank
want you
you.
to know that. All right. Take
Okay.
care.
Take care.
You too.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. So, hi, Coffee is Black. How are you? All right. Well, I don't know if anybody else was going to call in, and this is our first time. I mean, for a long time, we did this before, but I mean, it's our first time back since we have. So, yeah, next time, hopefully, more people will call in, and hopefully, this helps some people, or we'll
It's a
see.
good idea, I
Yeah.
think.
But I'll be back a little bit later with maybe in about a half an hour with the true crime or whatever. But thanks for joining us tonight, and
Welcome.
prayers again for snow removal for your dad and for everyone that's going through grief. Yes, it's hard, and the holidays are coming up, and we will do another one. This was kind of impromptu, but I had said I was doing it, so I just had to get back into doing it. Maybe we'll do it every Thursday night through the holidays. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for coming up, Carolyn. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys a little later. All right. God bless. Prayers. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. To get back in here and get this. Oh, I'm not the right one to close you out. All right, let's see. I've got to close you. Oh boy. All right, let me go over here. For some reason, I'm not in my studio. Okay, hang on. Reminds me of the first live, and I couldn't close it out. Now I have to go back into the. All right. There we go. I'll talk to you guys in a short while.